Welcome to REIT Magazine's weekly report. I'm Matt Bichard.
And I'm Alan Kenny. In our first story this week, more than 30 REIT CEOs gathered in Washington last week for NAREIT's 16th annual Washington Leadership Forum. The event included more than 40 face-to-face meetings with members of Congress and their staffs. The meetings included sit-downs with Speaker of the House John Boehner, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Host Hotels and Resorts CEO and NAREIT Chair Ed Walter spoke with REIT.com about some of the more pressing policy issues currently facing the industry.
The first is to reform the way foreign investors are treated when they invest in U.S. real estate, to make it more equitable and more similar to what would happen if they were to invest in a U.S. corporation from a tax standpoint. The second place is to make certain that retailers are treated equitably whether they sell through a bricks and mortar location or if they sell over the internet from a standpoint of sales tax. The last issue that we're focused on is beginning the discussion to extend the Terrorism Insurance Act. That act was incredibly important of providing a governmental backstop so that the insurance industry could provide terrorism insurance to the real estate industry and to other industries.
Commercial mortgage and healthcare REITs had the industry's strongest returns in February, posting total returns of 6.71% and 5.35% respectively. NAREIT's Brad Case offered his analysis of the month's performance.
If you look at healthcare REITs, I think quite a few investors, had some uncertainty about whether what's going on in Washington would affect healthcare REIT revenues going forward, and I think concerns are allayed about that. Actually, one of the main things is that healthcare REITs have really shown that their revenues don't really depend on government actions the way that certainly investors used to think they did. When you're looking at commercial financing mortgage REITs, I think there's something different going on. First of all, there's a lot more confidence that the mortgage market is coming back. Both in the home financing and in the commercial financing parts of that market.
The sale of the Archstone apartment portfolio by Lehman Brothers, announced in late 2012, was completed on February 27th. Under the terms of the deal, Apartment REIT Equity Residential purchased 60% of the portfolio, while Avalon Bay Communities bought the remaining 40%. In an interview with REIT.com, Equity Residential CEO David Nethercutt said the deal is part of a larger effort to adjust his company's focus.
Archstone represented, for us, our share about 21,000 units of very high quality assets in these gateway cities in New York and Boston and Washington, in Southern California, San Francisco and Seattle, which fit hand in glove with our investment strategy.
Vornado Realty Trust announced last week that CEO Michael Fascitelli intends to step down on April 15th. Fascitelli became Vornado CEO in 2009, replacing Stephen Roth, who has served solely as chairman since that time. Roth will return to the CEO post upon Fascitelli's departure, a position he previously held from 1989 to 2009.
Also on the REIT leadership front, commercial real estate investment company Hines announced on February 28th that Charles Hazen plans to retire later this month from his position as CEO of a number of the firm's investment funds. Sherry W. Shugart, a senior managing director with the firm, will take over as president and CEO of several investment funds managed by Hines.
And that concludes this week's edition of Weekly Report.
Be sure to check back early and often for all the latest commercial real estate news and analysis at REIT.com and realestateinvestmenttoday.com. We'll be back next week.